Hey everybody, and welcome to this, my first of two videos on the Canon EOS 5000, also called the EOS 888. Same camera, different name. Whoa, this is an old script. Holy cow. Okay. Wow, I wrote this a long time ago. I haven't used this format, and this is just for fun. When I do these videos, I read off of an outline, just with ideas. So that's what this looks like. My current outline is significantly more organized and numbered like that. And this outline was obsoleted 2017, I want to say. So I did not realize it had this for that long. Anyway, apologize for the meandering there. So, welcome to my first of two videos on this, the Canon EOS 5000, also called the EOS 888. This is an interchangeable lens, 35mm SLR, meaning that the lenses can be taken off and put back on at any time without ruining the image, unless you're taking a photo at the time, and you shouldn't be taking the lens off and on then anyway. It takes any 35mm film you would like to put into it, and single lens reflex means it has a single lens here. The light passes through it to a mirror, to a reflex pentamirror up here, to the viewfinder, until the image is taken, and then the mirror pops up and the image is taken. It has a 6-zone evaluative meter with the ability to use a large area, which is 9.5% in the center of the viewfinder, spot meter. It has shutter priority speeds of 1/8 of a second to 1/2000th of a second, plus bulb, auto mode, and scene modes. And those are up here. It has a 0.7x viewfinder magnification and 90% frame coverage. Now what that means is that if you're looking at this frame in the video now, and this is what's on the film, what's in the viewfinder is 70% of the size of what will be on the film. And 5% on each side, and the top and bottom are cut off in the viewfinder, but will make it onto the film. And that gives you some leeway in post when you need to crop your image a little bit or something like that. It has a fixed focusing screen that shows the autofocus point and the spot metering circle. And the flash sync on this camera is 1/90th of a second, but the camera will switch to green box auto mode when the flash pops up. So what I mean by that is, if you pop up the flash, it doesn't matter what you have the rest of this set in, your camera is going to green box. The target market for this camera was entry-level users. It is missing a boatload of features that the higher level cameras have. It has only a handful of controls. It's really geared towards automatic use. It's mostly designed for use with the scene modes, with shutter priority as a backup to those. And it lacks all of the other shooting modes. There's no program, no aperture priority, nothing like that. The camera can also take photos with almost no battery power, but it cannot advance or rewind the film if the batteries get low. So what that means is that when the batteries get low, you have one photo left. It has literally the second worst viewfinder I've ever seen in a camera. It's very small and very dim, and just a bit challenging to use sometimes, especially if you wanted to manual focus. And manual shutter control on this camera, like I said, is not possible with a flash at all. It was made by Canon in, I don't know where it was made, honestly, because it doesn't say, and I couldn't find it online. Maybe it was made in Japan, maybe at their Thailand factory, I don't know. I have no idea. It was made from 95 until 98. It was preceded by the 700, even though there was a gap of around 3 years between when the 700 went out of production and this entered production. It was concurrent with the 1N, 1NRS, 5.3, 150, 500, and 500N, and it was followed by the 300 rather. So let's go through the camera's features as we do. We'll start here on the top with the strap lugs, well, technically the sides. This is where you connect your camera strap. Flash hot shoe, film plane indicator right here, pop-up flash, control dial, mode index, LCD screen with a little bit of information on it, shutter release button. On the front of the camera, we have the autofocus assist light, lens mount index, shutter release button, Canon, model number, lens contacts. On the camera's back, we have the film window, which allows you to peer through there and see what kind of film you are using. You read that little text right there, or just to make sure that you have film in it. Viewfinder window, asterisk button, and film rewind button. On the camera's bottom, we have the tripod socket, Canon Inc., serial number, CE certification, battery chamber. On the inside of the camera, we have the film cassette chamber with the motor here, guide rails molded into the body, shutter, film guide roller, film take-up spool with the index for the leader placement, tension roller here that helps the film move through the camera as it should, film pressure plate, film cassette spring, and light seal for around the film reading window. Now, interestingly, if you notice, there was no date-back version of this camera, but it has the body molded in to have the date-back contacts, and the film pressure plate has date-back holes in it. So, which is kind of fascinating to me. It says a lot about the way that Canon used the same parts between various models of camera. So they would have been able to use many of these same castings in other entry-level cameras that did have quartz date versions available. Some notes on this camera: it was sold only in the EU as the EOS 5000. In Asia, it was sold only as the 888. There were no US and no Japanese versions of this camera. So we know for sure that this camera started its life in Europe. This was one of only a small number of the 90s cameras that had scene modes in manual shooting, but no other automatic modes. So the fact that this has the scene modes and then shutter priority, speeds, but no aperture priority, no full manual, and no program is really uncommon. So some things not to do with your camera. Don't touch the shutter because that can brick your camera, and don't touch the mirror because the oils from your finger can cause it to be desilvered, which will dim the viewfinder and can affect focus and metering. Don't leave your camera or lenses in your car because the heat, if it gets hot enough in your car, can warp the plastic of this camera. Also, even if it gets less hot than that, lubricating oils can get very thin and get to places they're not supposed to, and then when they get back to their proper viscosity, can affect your camera's operation. Extreme cold can also warp the plastic in this camera, and it can also cause the lubricating oils to get thick and gummy. But also, this doesn't look like an entry-level camera, or even if it does, somebody who's interested in taking cameras out of your car, just walking past, doesn't need a few seconds, but a few seconds to break your window and grab it. So it's always better to take your camera with you when you leave your car and know that you will have it when you get back to your car. Don't store your camera or lenses in a plastic bag or box because water will permeate that plastic and can cause fungus to grow on the optics. Don't let your camera get wet. It's not weather sealed and it's entirely electronic, so water will short this camera out and render it useless. And just remember that your Canon EOS 5000 is a precision tool and should be handled with care and respect. And as long as you take care of your camera will take care of you. All right, so that was it for the first of two videos about the Canon EOS 5000. In this video, we looked at what everything is. In the second video, we're going to go over all of the functions that this has and talk about what they do so you know how to use this camera to take photos. Thank you for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up. That lets me know that I'm on the right track producing content which is useful and helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comments section below. I'm pretty good about checking these every couple of days and answering questions. If you have any suggestions or ideas for future videos, and if I have the technical know-how and equipment, I'm more than happy to make those. One last thing. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I gotta get up, Steinbeck. I have to turn off the camera.